All right, hey guys, Kid here. Burn One Shadowverse Evolved channel, as always, back with another set review. The Idol Master Cinderella Girls is coming out in 2 weeks-ish, I believe, and so we're getting a head start on these reviews. This is a little bit different than before. We're actually starting with the starter decks for each cute, cool, and passion, because it has some unique cards in it that we do have to review. So we're going to go through all those starters first. And then when we get to the full set itself, any card that repeats will just refer back to the starter deck review. But with all that being said, I'd like to welcome my guests. As always, we have Pressure here, homeboy to the channel.
Howdy.
And we have a new guy on here who just recently made top 8 at the Grand Showdown. Congratulations to Captain.
Of course, thanks, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, I also realized I didn't ask you beforehand, but I assume you just want to be called Captain on here?
Yep, that works perfectly.
That's his first and last name.
Yeah. Yep. Captain.
My middle name is Captain My Captain.
Captain My Captain. I love it. Oh, man. Okay, so if this is your first time joining in on any of our set reviews before, here is the rating queue we go by: S, A, B, C, D, F. You know, you can kind of read this on the screen, but generally S is going to be like a defining card for the craft or meta, and it goes all the way down to F, which is not impactful or won't see any play. Get that out of the way. Next, we have to talk about the mechanic of this set. We're not going to be rating these tokens because they're basically all the same, but when you play IMAX, you start with 5 of these in your EX zone, I believe, right? And then you get special effects by using them later on with interactions with some of your followers or spells or whatever. I haven't read all the cards yet, so I don't know exactly which things interact with which, but that's the general gist of it, right, guys? I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So obviously, first thing we're starting off here is obviously with cute. So we got the first card here. I guess we'll go me, Pressure, then Captain. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So first card we have here is Uzuki Shibamaru. PCS. It's a 7-drop 4/4 Swordcraft follower. It has fanfare select to 1 cute follower that originally costs 4 play points or less, and up to 1 cute follower that originally costs 2 play points or less in your cemetery. Put them onto your field and then give them +1/+1. Has activate lesson 1. Give your leader +3, and this ability can be activated once per turn. And then it's IMAS Cinderella Girls and cute trait. The lesson 1, is that just how does you guys might have to explain to me? Do you just use the card or remove it from your EX zone?
Yeah, you eat your token basically with the lesson. So if it's like lesson 2, you eat 2 tokens. If it's lesson 5, you eat 5 tokens. And for this one, because it doesn't have like a play point cost, you could just do it. There are some that are like 1 play point, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, whatever, you know.
Okay, sounds good. My first impression, so I haven't read any of these cards or really looked into this meta other than I always heard about cool aggro being highly represented in Japan. I mean, this card reads okay to me. You get like good value off of a 7-drop, which seems all right because you'll be able to spawn 2 other cool things off or cute things off of it. And then I guess the lesson part of it is all right. You get a heal 3 once per turn, which seems okay. But at the same time, this also does not like really impact the board or do anything too crazy. I feel like on 7 you drop this and you like build your wide board and then you lose to like Kuhan swinging into you or something.
Yeah. I feel like you know, we'll have to see what the 4 and 2 drop cute cards are, but just immediately my sort of negative thinking of this is that you have to find the 2 and 4 drops first before you play this, and Sword is the most, one of the least consistent sort of decks, or you just don't see a large amount of cards in Sword. So if there's a way to find the 2 and 4 drop and then get them in the grave and then whatever. I also don't like that she doesn't get buffs, so she'll always just be a 4/4, and then the 4 and 2 drops have to really carry this card. This is a 6 starter deck card though. Does a lot for a starter deck. So.
Yeah, and while playing Idolmaster, you do get to technically activate this leader +3 multiple times if it survives, or if you have all 5 lessons still. Yeah. But that is, again, this is turn 7. In a lot of situations, you've already used all of those lessons.
Yeah. That is an interesting thing, is that like if it lives, you can heal more. And healing is just good in general in this game. So
yeah, I mean, turn 7 heal 15. Or no, sorry, that's once per turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Turn 7 through 12.
Okay, yeah, listen,
Yeah,
if it was turn 7
now
hit 15,
that-
I might what a good card.
Jatlint, anyone? Jatlint?
The Jate.
Oh man.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
All right, captain's version of a card S.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give this like a C for now because I can see it. But I don't know. I don't know.
I'm kind of leaning more on the D side just because it really is important. You know, it's really important to actually hit those things that you want. They have to already be in the cemetery, right? So you already have to have played them or milled it out of your deck, which is an issue. And I think you guys make a really good point too. A lot of like this card being good has to be carried on the back of the 4 and 2 drop that you're getting. If those cards are really good anyway, this card becomes like slightly better just because it just adds technically 2 extra copies of those cards or whatever into your deck, like fake adding them essentially. But a lot of it's still carried on. What does it summon out of the grave?
Yeah.
Anything to add, Captain, or are we just good to go?
Just agree with you. You have to see it. Unfortunately, I think it's built for the next 2 cards, and those are a bit less playable. So we'll see.
All right. Next card here, Pressure.
All right, Kyoko Igarashi. I'm just gonna apologize in advance if I butcher any of these people's names. 4-mana 4/4 Ward. Fanfare. Select an enemy follow on the field and give it -X/-X. X equals the number of Q follows on your field. Okay. Activate less than 1. Select an enemy follow on the field and give it -1/-1. This ability can be activated once per turn. So this is like a removal card. This almost makes me think like it's like a way worse Tokai Teo, like just so significantly worse Tokai Teo. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you get it off the 7 drop, you go like -3/-3, and then -4/-more to something or whatever, and then it's a ward. 4/4 is like okay. I mean 4/4 is pretty good, but I don't know. This card seems not good.
Yeah, and I don't know how often you really use your lessons in cute, but it seems like the expectation is that you get to turn 7, you still have 3 of them, so you can use all 3 of their effects, but it's not really that consistent.
Yeah,
even for this, like actually affecting the board, so it's like this is a little bit of a payoff of playing the 7 drop even. This just does not seem very, very impactful, even on turn 4. Because the idea, like if like curving this out on 4 is kind of awkward. Because I feel like a lot of the times you're just not going to have that big of a board anyway. So this like comes down and it's going to be like, yeah, -1/-1 somewhere, and then we moving on. I don't know how often you're going to be left over with more than like one other cute. Or I guess this only looks for any follower, right? So. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, it looks for Q followers. Never mind.
Yeah.
So more often than not, like at best, this is going to come down. It's going to be like a -2/-2. Because I think if you actually curve this out on 4 and you're like, yeah, I get a -4/-4 something, like you probably were already winning that game anyway.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say like people already don't like playing Amelia, which I still think Amelia is like really really strong. I think she's starting to age a little bit, but like this is just way worse Amelia. This is super high roll, way worse Amelia. Yeah, I don't know. I think this card is really bad. It's also like really affected by the fact that you have to have played her before in the game to get like the effect on the 7 drop. Like if the 7 drop searched from deck, then this card would be kind of sick. Because it'd just be like an option, to get out. Yeah, I don't know. I think this card's like really bad.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like in a future set with Spartacus and like a more of a self-mill thing. You put it there yourself, and then you play Uzuki on turn 7.
Yeah,
That's
turn 7. You're already winning.
You never want to drop this card yourself.
I now understand.
Sword, you have way better options.
I now understand why this is the cute deck, because all the effects are cute if you get a combo off with a bunch of the cute stuff.
I know. We'll see. Maybe there's gonna be some insano card here.
Yeah. Listen. I always like being wrong if it ever happens. So
yeah.
Just someone out there, maybe they'll break it and we'll all look like clowns, which is great.
One last thing is like why is she not a Dragon Guard? Like why couldn't she have just been a 4/5? Like would that have been really that crazy? Like I don't know. Like the stats seem really low for. It is a starter deck card.
Yeah.
I think it's just the whole they're expecting to do less damage from the -/, and so why would it need the extra health?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much this matters going into this too. I bet you like a lot of these starter decks too are also, for the most part, fairly straightforward, fairly like simple effects like this, because the assumption was like the Cinderella girls IMAS like fandom might buy into this for at least one set, and they want these effects not to be like super ridiculous, you know, if you play into other starters, right? So, all right, moving on here, Captain.
So for the next one, this one is Miho Kohinata, also PCS. While there are at least 3 cute followers on your field, this follower has Rush. Fanfare, look at the top card of your deck. If it's cute, you may reveal it and add it to your hand. Sorry, if it's cute follower. So yeah, for this card, again, it's fully reliant on being played with the first two. If there's any situation where you're playing this beforehand, it's just a worse goblin. That yes, it kind of looks at the top card, so it can act as a draw, but it's not really accomplishing much outside of that. Again, you're not really going to see situations where you have more than 2 cute followers on the field, and it just kind of doesn't really interact well until that turn 7.
She's trying to be special week so much. It's so sad.
It is sad.
This is actually this is one of the most depressing cards I've ever seen. It's just this is one of the worst cards I've seen in a bit. It's understated, doesn't evolve. The first effect is
it's a fake
never
effect,
gonna happen on curve. And then it has to be a follower. You can't even, if you hurt yourself by making an entire cute deck, if there's a cute spell, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
You're done. Wow, this card is horrendous. Hey, at least you don't have to know to Evo I'm going second on 2 anymore.
True.
At least you don't have to know. Yeah, this is a horrendous card. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. It's just, yeah, it's very sad special week. All right, we got Chika Yokoyama, which is a Runecraft 1-drop 2/2 follower as Fanfare. If there are at least 5 cue cards in your cemetery, give this follower +1/+2 and Ward, and then it has IMSCG and Cute as the traits. I mean, the assumption here is this is like your big goblin payoff for playing Cute, which is nice. Like, I think the stat line plus Wards is totally fine if you're playing the Cute. It comes down to whether this card or whether the cute deck is like relevant or not, because I could just literally see every cute deck playing this card, because it's a lot of the time after the first few turns it's going to be a 1-drop 3/4 with Ward, which seems really above rate for a 1-drop already.
Yeah, this card reads insane to me. Like, even if this is one of those cards where I'd play the last 3 cards we just read to play a 1-mana 3/4. That's what we're getting. Wait, can the 7-drop get or less?
Yeah,
Is it?
Just get 2 of
pretty
these.
Sure. Yeah.
You just get 2 of these, and it's better than the terrible legendaries.
Okay,
that's actually kind of sick. I kind of like that. We just need like a Heinlein or equivalent or something. This is definitely the best card we've seen so far out of 4. Yeah, this is a sick card. This is a really sick card.
Yeah, I think there's a card coming up that accomplishes kind of what you want with it, but we'll see it.
Nice.
This is really weird,
like
though. I like, obviously I like the effect and everything. It's just really hard to rate this and the idea, because this is more likely than not you have to play Cute to play this card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Unless like the deck is in need of goblins, which I don't think it is, but
yeah, and like in Rune, yeah, this is probably not an effect you're looking ever to try to get off anyway, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, and even in like
Rune,
cool,
aggro,
even in cool where you play more aggro, I don't think I see anybody play this card as that attack at all. So
yeah, the 5 cute cards is an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking like in every other deck outside of Cute, talking about Rune, like if you need a goblin, and talking about aggro cool where you might need an extra goblin, and also isn't there the one card that searches for a cool and Cute card? Like this could be your 1 of Cute card that's just a goblin, maybe. But yeah, other than outside, we're just talking about outside of Cute.
She is a Rune follower for Saphira, so.
Oh man. We got the cooks have arrived. The chefs have arrived.
Oh man. Where are you guys landing on this? I feel like I think normally in a world where like this effect is more activatable in like other decks, this card would be like busted, but it just because you're like kind of locked into the cute archetype. I feel like it's probably, I don't want to rate it lower than a C, but I feel like that the whole cute archetype stuff is probably holding this back. But maybe by the end of this, I will respect cute a lot more.
I think oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I think from a Q perspective, it's it's kind of just like what Pressure was saying. If you play the 7-drop, you kind of just want 2 of these. It ends up being the kind of the best card in the deck. That being said, it's not playable in the other versions of Rune or Idolmaster. So I think it's really good for this deck, and maybe C is probably better, but it is still strong by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always rate goblins really high. So this might be completely out of left field, completely wrong, but I'm A to like, I'm giving it an A to I might want to come back and change to an S. Like if there's more good cute cards, because this is the best cute card, and this is the type of card where I would just play cute because I can play 1 mana 3/4 with Ward. And if there's enough cute cards, then I could see coming back to this. But even then, I see it's obviously an auto include if you ever think about cute in your deck. And even outside of that, it has applications. Very, less so in Rune, but in any of the other Idolmaster, decks where it's just like, hey, here's a 1-drop, here's a goblin, So I'm giving it A. Might be super high though. That might be super duper high.
All right. I mean, we have the full spread here, but I can see it going any direction. Unironically, like, it just really depends on the other cards and what happens. Like, unironically, like in my heart, if cute was like a real like thing I have to care about, I could see this card literally being S, like unironically. But the biggest thing holding me back on the rating is definitely the requirement of 5 cutes in Cemetery. Because even when you're splashing, like maybe you just splash just enough cutes that this activates relatively regularly, it's not going to happen like consistently, I feel like, in like any type of mixed deck. But at the end of the day, I guess it really comes down to the other cute cards. So
yeah.
All right, next card.
Alrighty. Momoka Sakurai, 2 mana 2/2. She can evolve. What the heck? Fanfare, 2 play points. Lesson 1, give this follower +1/+1. On evolve, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal a cute card from among them and add to your hand. Put the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is like a worse version of what's my man's name? The Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Because it only checks 3, but you have like a wider,
Yeah, you can kind of grab anything instead of 1-drops, right?
I mean, a cute deck is sick, because you're missing the special week, so it's fine. I guess buffing, that's never gonna happen.
Not for 2 play points.
Well, okay, now if you play it on 3 and then the next turn you just pump it to a 5/5, like that's not that bad in like kind of slower matchups. But like, what decks are slow? It's a use for your it's It has a lot of text, but then a lot of the text like doesn't matter. It's just a top check 3, but also top check 3 is so little. Like that's not a lot.
Yep, and I think it runs into the same issue as the last card, where if you splash in any other cards, if it has the chance of miss, it's immediately much worse.
Yeah.
I think you guys got it all. I'm cool with. I think I'm going to give this a D. Like, I'm not high on the cute stuff just yet. I need to see the crazy cute payoff to be bought into the idea of like, okay, getting these extra searchers and these extra like consistency tools is very important. I guess if cute becomes relevant though, this definitely can go up in rating. But yeah,
I'm giving it a B because it's like, I feel like Ikono is like an S card in its archetype. So this is like basically Ikono, but it's on just a different type of card. But like that type of card is obviously much worse than what Ikono was. So I'm giving it like -2 grades ish. Amazing math, right? But I think it's still just like you're just. Like almost always, you're just gonna add a card. Like if this card is in your deck, it's always gonna hit, you know.
Yeah,
and,
if it's in there. I like
yeah,
the thing about like these type of cards too, even though like I'm kind of rating it low as a D, it's just like if I sit across someone and they play this card, I probably wouldn't question it unless they whiff. Like if they whiff, I'm like, why are you playing this card? But but I mean, if it comes down, I don't down and someone uses it as for its effects and stuff, I don't think anyone's gonna like turn around and be like, what the heck? You know, it's just still an alright card.
yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the next card.
Yep. So this one is Akiha Ikebukuro. So this is a 3-mana 3/3. Evolves for 1, and fanfare, select another cute follower on the field and give it +1 health. On evolve, you discard a cute card, select an enemy follower on the field, deal it 3, and draw a card. So this is kind of the baby Mr. Heinlein, at least the on evolve version of it.
Yeah.
It manages to do quite a bit. You know, it's a turn 4 that removes, and if you had anything survive a turn, you know, it's going to be bigger. So kind of going with that 1 mana, the one that becomes like the 2/4 ward, it can work pretty well with that. But again, it's just that's already reliant on you having the 5 cards in the cemetery. So maybe, you know, that's kind of the play that you do with your turn 7 is you can play both this and the 1 drop. But
It's just like it's just a dragon warrior with like, you know, with the sails, you know.
Yeah, you get the payoff. You get the payoff for playing cute. You get this is obviously the dragon warrior they want you to be playing. It adds I would say it adds a little bit consistency, obviously, because we're obviously in the cute archetype. We're discarding to draw a card, which adds some consistency. So we don't go down a card or anything for discarding for this, and we could set up some of our summons or something later, right? Or setting up for our 1-drops.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It makes me hope there's at least one other 5 in the graveyard or 5 cute in the graveyard payoff. Like obviously the one man 3/4 is really strong, but if a lot of our effects are going to be discarding cute card, you know, to cycle, I need like 1 or 2 more payoffs. Because like I'd rather just be okay. Here's a bunch of good cards, and then you know you have the thing where in the late game or middle game, you know, it's a 1 man 3/4. But yeah, this is just is the Dragon Warrior. Yeah, pretty sick.
Yeah,
the 1 health doesn't matter at all, like almost ever, right?
no,
pretty much. Yeah,
it's the ward.
Yeah, you just get that. You get that extra random payoff occasionally if something lives, and then, or I guess you're going into, like Captain said, some higher play point turns. But I don't know. I like this card enough that I'm just gonna give it a C. Like it does its job. I think like the fanfare effect is not gonna be that relevant. It's just like a little cherry on top occasionally, but the Evo side, I like a lot. It's just cycle a card to get to things that are more important, set up cemetery if needed for anything else in this, and it's Dragon Warrior, so don't think anyone's going to complain about that.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Nene Kurihara evolves for 1. It's a 5-drop 3/4 dragon follower that has ward, fanfare, select an enemy follower on the field and deal it 3 damage. Then on evolve side, it has ward still, and then on evolve, you can pay 3 play points, select a cute follower in your cemetery, and put it onto your field. Oh, there's no restriction on the card we pull.
I was about to say this is the worst part of the game, but because I thought it was like a 3 play point cute follower, but no, this card's actually kind of sick.
Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting though, because it's still a big, like, I like the fact that we're just paying 3 play points to cheat something out that's big or crazy, right? But this is still, at the end of the day, it's just like earliest this is going to happen is turn 8 with the Evo point. Yeah. And then, so
what no ramp does to an MF.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if I get like 2 ramps right off, this card is sick.
Bro, this is 3 turns after you got up and
everyone went to lunch after killing 9 to go on.
I had 2 turns. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, what's the cute bomb? Like, we need a cute card that literally says win the game.
Pretty much. Like, this into the 7-drop cute, right, is like probably what they wanted you to go for, because like that's a lot of play points with the followers, right, on like turn 8 or 9, depending if you have the Evo point or not. and then you build this incredibly wide board, and then hopefully if it doesn't get answered, then you're supposed to win the game afterwards. But I don't think that's how that works ever. Yeah.
I mean, the issue is like so far we haven't seen like anything that has storm or does any face damage at all. So it's like you turn 9, you get the 7 drop and you summon 2 more cards. That doesn't do anything. Maybe you ward, but if you're going against Kuon, they're going to kill you that turn. There's no chance that they don't.
Yeah, that's like one of the big things we have to keep in mind too, or at least for listeners and stuff, that we're still going into a meta where Kuon is the top of the top big bad that gets to push down any decks that want to go for a longer value game that would play things like this. Would, they're just going to beat them to the pulp. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think this card would be a lot better if it didn't have to evolve, but at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like it is an F card, but part of me also wants to give it a D.
I want to go D as well, so I'm just going to go for it.
All right.
I'll be the warrior.
Thank you, Captain. Oh, man. I want to like this card so bad, but in the context of what the meta is, it's not going to be good. All right.
Karen Dam Yoji, is that a Kuon reference? 3 mana, 3/3 ward, fanfare, discard a cute card. Give this follower +2 health and draw a card. 3 mana, 3/5 ward. Heal, or no, you don't heal. Is that? It's either horrible or good.
I
mean, it's horrendous or good.
I mean, you're a big fan of Rapunzel. This reads as Rapunzel that cycles and can attack without any extra support. So
I like this text on this card. I like a lot. It's just,
again, it's stuck in a cute deck.
Yeah.
At least it's not reliant on like followers. It counts spells and amulets too.
Yeah, you just throw any garbage, cue card that you have to put in your deck in.
Honestly, I kind of like this card a lot.
Yeah, surprisingly, I think this card is pretty good. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm on the side of caution here, but
especially if we're walking into an aggro meta, like something like this is really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bro. Cards like this. Anyway, choose to go first, people, please. People see cards like this and don't. Oh, I think I want to go second. Come on, y'all.
All right.
So the next one is Kana Imai. It is a 2-drop 2/2 forest card. Evolves for 1, so nothing on base. But on evolve, look at the top card of the deck, reveal it, and add it to your hand. If it's cute, you heal 2. It's not bad, but it just kind of using that evolve slot, it feels like it actually doesn't accomplish too much. I almost feel like it would have been better if it was like a look at the top 2, add 1 to hand, and throw 1 in the graveyard just to kind of support the rest of the cute archetype. But having the heal 2 instead just doesn't seem like it really applies to like what the rest of the game is trying to do.
This is such an interesting card because we get this and the previous 2-drop Evo in the same starter deck, and they're like very similar. This is like very, I don't I feel like this is way better because it's not conditional at all. Like it's just 2 mana 2/2 fighter draw card.
This card is definitely built in a way that you can play it in a non-IMAS deck, because the card, you always add a card to hand, but then you get a bonus if for playing Q, right? Yeah. So there's that. So maybe there's some world where Forest just wants this, but every time I think about Forest, they don't have the room.
It's weird. This is such a bizarre card because, like, on paper it's better, but if you're ever like, Forest already has good enough cards that you're not playing this, and then if you're ever playing cute, you just play the other one because you'd rather just check 3 because you're always hitting. This is a weird card. It's interesting that it's in the same exact like starter deck. Like you have both of these, But yeah, like Captain said, I wish it like discarded a card from the top or something.
Yeah, and at the moment, even if you don't have points or Evo points, going first, it's just a worse goblin. So it's like it'll sit in your hand until 3 at least, and then it doesn't really accomplish much unless you have to remove something or trade it. So
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I give the other one? A B? Yeah, I'll say C.
yeah, I'm gonna stick with the D.
I'm
I
going
think
with D on this one.
it is better than the last one, but it just they're fighting for the same spot.
Yeah.
All right. We got Sai Kobayaka. So 1-drop, 1/2 spellcraft follower. It's fanfare. Select another IMAS Cinderella Girl follower on your field and give it +1/+1. And then it's IMAS CG and cute trait. This card isn't the worst in the world. You just have to have something on the board to live to pump up. There's no storm followers yet, so we can't cheat this onto other things. What's nice though is like at least it's not locked into cute followers, so this can be splashed into other decks fairly easily. I don't know. I kind of like this card. It's not the worst in the world. Obviously, the other 1-drop is probably better than this card, but how do you guys feel?
I think this card's insane. I feel like this card's like absurd. You're sacrificing one stat to it's basically a 1 mana 2/3.
Yeah.
And it's like that's really strong. Especially the way the early game removal works in a lot of, it's like being able to
go up to 3 health.
3 or 4 health is so good. And this, she's still swinging it for 1 every turn. If you have another one, she can get buffed. The fact that it's +1/+1, I feel like it's really strong. I think this card's this to me is like probably the second strongest card we've seen, second or third.
Yeah.
I agree with Prussia. I wish it could do it to itself and just be a 2/3 itself, but that is a dream, and that's the big issue.
That'd be sick.
I'm curious, is this played in the cool deck at all, or do you guys know off the top of the hand?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, yeah.
But now thinking about it, like I feel like you definitely would rather have this as your like one of searchable card, and that's outside of the archetype than the 1 mana 3/4, just because this is just always gonna be relevant, And yeah, if you have any, I feel like you almost just would splash this in any aggro deck, because if you have any storm, it's like crazy. The fact that it's 1 mana too is so good.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm looking at this. Damn, you guys are crazy. I'm gonna give it B. I really, really like the card. But once again, it's just you play in CG or it's gone forever.
Like imagine we hit the attack, Rapunzel, but she can attack, and the next turn we play 3 of these out.
God. Oh man, the dream. I'm always like, I really like cards like this, but every time I feel like I always get burnt on the fact that, hey, you need something on the board already to like start doing cool stuff. And yeah, it is nice. So I guess it's very easy to weave this in at one play point. But yeah. All right, next card.
Noriko Shina, 2 mana 2/3 strike. Give your leader +2 health. Fanfare. If there are at least three master followers on your field, give this follower +1 attack and rush. It's not conditional on like cute, so it's like if you're playing aggro deck and you're winning already, it's a Latham. I don't think so. To have 2 things, I guess it counts itself, right?
Yeah. So you would have 2 things already on the board to give this Russian +1.
You play 2 Sai Kobayakas the last turn, and then you play a Latham. I don't think
it's like a Perseus that rushes and heals, and that's.
All right, it is cute out of 10 just for the cute archetype. Yeah, it doesn't read horribly, but it just once again, things that require you to have things on board already. I always feel like you're living in magical Christmas land. Like, are we playing different games? I feel like almost every turn, almost everything always gets removed.
Well, especially in a Kuan meta. They just need to drop one curse crafter.
Yeah, let me just pop 3 things really quick, and your turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, next card.
All right. The next one is Yukari Mizumoto. It is a 4 mana 4/4. On Fanfare, choose one of the following: either select an enemy amulet and destroy it, or draw a card. I don't think there's really much to say about this one. I mean, it's a 4/4 that's amulet hate. I mean, that's solid, you know, in games where the amulets come up, but that's at the moment that's not really relevant. And right now, I mean, a 4-drop 4/4 drawing a card, it doesn't. Don't really think it pushes the game forward that much.
This card's an F- because it power creeps Machikane Town Hoiser. My favorite Ulus, man. I don't know. This, I mean, Machikane wasn't even that playable in set 1.5 or whatever the hell she came 2.5. Like, this guy's unplayable. This guy sucks. I mean, it's always good to have these type of cards around for like amulet. But even like if amulets come up, if you have to spend 4 mana and play a 4/4 down nowadays to kill it, then just fucking play a different deck.
The only time I would play this is if you have a Leonidas based locals and you can just get rid of it and be happy, ruin their day.
Yeah, the one thing I like about this card is that both effects are relevant, right? So if you're gonna have to play this down and they don't have an amulet, you at least get a draw card, so you get a cycle off of this card. Which is kind of nice. So like this could be tech into like whatever. Like if your local for some reason has a million amulets running around, like this is kind of like a cute tech card. Like even for dragon, you know, if you put this in a dragon deck, I wouldn't be, if I saw this against me, I wouldn't be the most offended, but I'd also be like, I wouldn't be like super impressed with the card. It's just that nice that it doesn't really have a fail case other than the fact that its stat line is like mediocre at best. So
if you play this down on me and you won the dice roll, you went second. Next turn, I'm dropping Rapunzel that can attack in 2 of my buffers. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this card's playable. I think this card sucks.
I'm giving it a D. You can give it that F.
I like it being able to tech in, and there's going to be a meta where you want to remove a amulet, and execution's not going to be enough, I think so.
But I just feel like in Dragon, like I feel like execution is just better for most Dragon decks than this. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it might be at the end of the day, execution is just better because it's like a quick you can play around with, but I don't know. It's not horrible enough for me to just, you know, give it an F immediately and be like, oh, well, this will never be thought about again. I like maybe this will be thought about occasionally and then probably still never see play, but it's and I like the idea or the concept of how this card works. So all right, next card. Is it me? I forgot already. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Hide Hayasaka. It's a 3-drop 4/3 Abyss follower. If you have at least 5 IMAS CG cards in your cemetery, this follower has Rush. Then Fanfare. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put a card from among them on top of your deck. Put the remaining cards into your cemetery. Oh, I actually kind of like this card. Except for the part where you need 5 CG cards and cemetery. As for some reason I thought it was talking about board. I like this card because it kind of sets up what you want to do for this like starter deck, right? Which is nice and like kind of accelerate you. It could be played in normal Abyss too, except like the top text probably will never be really relevant outside of this current meta. And it sets up your draw next turn, and I know how much pressure hates that sometimes, but
that's right. Oh, it doesn't put it on. Oh.
Yeah,
I thought put it in your hand.
No, it puts it on top. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Dude, if it put it to hand, I think this card would be really, really good. But like I would be like, yeah, this is probably like a B or A card if it put it into your hand. But I like the text on this card. The stat line's pretty but
it's horrendous. The stat line is
terrible. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Captain? I know Pressure is already not a big fan.
Yeah, I think it fits the archetype. It's splashable in Abyss as well as other Imos stuff, but the top deck is really what I didn't like. If it added to hand, it'd be such a better card.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just wish this was a 3-4. It doesn't even have to add to hand. Because, like, for me, this always just reads to build the top 3 cards of your deck. Like, 'cause most of the time, I'd just rather have that effect than.
Yeah. See, it comes down on 3. I look at the top 3 cards of my deck. I go, all right. I'll put this Death Breath back on top, and these 2 Death Breaths into my grave.
Yeah. I mean, I know when I play against you, you're gonna go Isra, Yuzuki into the graveyard, and top deck Death Breath. You know, and it's like, sure, you got it, man.
Man.
This is 3 mana 4/3 is probably the worst stat line in the game. It's just unplayable. It's so bad. I think that's mostly where I'm coming from. It's just 3 mana 4/3 is just horrendous. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's F bad. It's like between D and C for me. So I'm gonna lean towards D a little bit. I think like these type of cards too that like you get this bonus off of like supposedly playing IMSCG. It always feels like it's missing like 1 extra text because they were afraid to make this card too broken. I almost feel like this card should just have Rush, and then it gains a cell if you have 5 IMSCGs or something in there. Then I think this card would be really sick. But yeah,
if it was a 3/4, it'd be sick. It can't be getting killed by Surefire on 3. It just cannot. I cannot play a card like that.
Yeah.
Unless it like deals 4 to something, or I don't know.
Yeah. All right, final card here.
Winter Night Prayer, 4 mana, quick. Select enemy file in the field and banish it. If there's a cute file in their field, give your leader +3. Wow, it's better Acolyte's Light, but not really because you have to be playing on brand. How good was Acolyte's Light? Like S+ is like an A.
Acolyte's Light, it's probably like A between A and S. It's like I think it's like one of the cards you care about for playing Haven for the most part, unless you have some other archetype going forward that doesn't really care.
I definitely would consider playing 6 Acolytes Light in my deck. I think we would play 6 Acolytes Light in the Umineko deck.
In the Umineko deck, yeah.
I think we'd play 6 Acolytes Light in the Umineko
that deck would look so different, but yeah.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. If we had access to 6 Acolytes Light, we would be playing a different type of deck. But
yeah, it would be completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a B because it's Acolytes Light and Acolytes Light.
Yeah. I think it's a solid card outside of having the cute follower. I think my biggest thing about this is I love having Saber and Shadowverse again. So.
Oh my God, 2 Saber fans out here.
That's actually pretty good.
Okay, with that being the final card, what do you guys think about these before we move on to our closeout and everything? What do you guys think about this deck for like getting into it? Like my initial thoughts is that if you're coming into the game, this is probably a really okay starter to play with friends with other starters, I assume. Because I assume they're all going to be relatively this power level. And it's like a good introduction into the game. I don't know if any of these cards in particular will see a lot of heavy play into the other decks. But, I haven't looked at lists yet, and I haven't really researched this meta as much as I have like the prior stuff we've worked on. So what are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I really like this starter deck as like a beginner, like here's a deck and here's how to play. I don't want to, get on my soapbox or whatever, but I wish we would get more of these instead of sort of stuff like Glory Finder, like I feel like these type of products are really good to introduce the player, new players to, and side games is good or whatever. Bushiroad is good enough to like give us 3 of copies of every card in the deck, so it's not like, or most of the exclusives in the deck, so we don't have to buy a bunch of stuff or whatever, And I think this is a deck that plays pretty well out of the box, I would say. Still probably loses to starter deck Dragon. But pretty cool. Definitely teaches you, I think, a lot about the game. And yeah, I like. What would you guys say is like a mid-rangey deck? I guess
it definitely is mid-rangey.
Yeah, I would just echo the same. I mean, it 100%. I can see like the clear curve. It's very helpful in learning the game, and my favorite thing about seeing these starter decks is they're very good about being that archetypal you know what the game plan is because every card plays into it. So overall, I'm a big fan of it, but could definitely be maybe a bit more playable against other things, but we'll see.
Yep, for sure. I think if their main takeaway from building these starters was definitely like we're definitely going to get an influx of players that are new either to card games or to Shadowverse Evolve in general because this IP is coming in. This is definitely a really great way to start it off, I think. So, yeah. We'll move on here. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Here are some of our social media stuff that you can go through. Make sure to follow all of this because we very care about our follower count. And then, Captain, you have anything, right? Any shout outs or anything you want for socials or anything you're doing?
Nothing at the moment. I'll plan to make a YouTube soon, but we'll see.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Whoa,
Let's go.
That's actually kind of hype.
Yeah, besides that, I guess, wait, Press, you got anything you want to say before we close out?
Rest in peace, 2024 Chicago Cubs.
With that being said, guys, I'll hopefully see you guys in the next set review. Later, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See ya.